Hey people, Intro here, 3v3 Faction War. This is Argus Desert Gate and Space Marines versus Chaos fellas. They just can't see eye to eye, I don't know what it is. On the blue team, you have McLovin because, yeah, sure, in the grim darkness of the far future, there is McLovin as a Techmarine. Starts off in ranged combat, can get to melee weapons, supports with structures and repairs. We've got some Ultramarines. Is it the DLC? I believe so. You can see on the Tactical Marines for sure. There we go. Alongside Sodding as a Force Commander, handsome Sodding, pardon me. Versatile frontline hero bringing offense, disruption and support from the front lines for the Emperor. And we also have the Ultramarines DLC here. The Tenso rounds off the team as an Apothecary support hero fighting in melee combat by default. Begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura. For the Chaos fellas, two Sorcerers, first up TyranidTerror, and this is Burning. These are offensive and disruptive heroes with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. Alongside them, rounding off the teams, Honeken's Plague Champion starts off with a damage over time bolt gun, can get to melee weapons, debilitates enemies and supports allies, can also repair. And there's some Nurgle worship. This is the Thousand Sons Elite scheme. Gonna get behind that heavy cover with the Nurgle worship there, plus 3.5 health per second. I think he's waiting for more CSM, Honeken, maybe. Without the extra CSM, you don't really want to push against a Force Commander, I feel like. The Force Commander may be aggressive in the mid, actually. Two Scouts for the Tenso, not something you see all that often in a 3v3. Apothecary goes down. Double Scouts can do wonders for you, though, if you're good at using their shotguns and sniper rifles and grenades and things. One of the Scout models died. These guys go for the garrison, kicking off in the mid. Yeah, Force Commander tears apart the Heretics and they run. Plague Champion getting very low here, and shotguns already up on these Scouts. Plague Champion does make it out. These guys now need to run, and they can cap up the mid, maybe even decap the VP. No, going for a flank on the east side, and the quick revive of the Apothecary, I suppose. I would have capped up the mid here, you know. You can revive that Apothecary later, but we'll see a quick revive here. Doom bolts didn't do much. Shotgun blast, well timed on the Heretics, and for some reason they Doom blasted. Why? Just get up and run, fellas. You exploded one of your friends for nothing. CSM and Tactical Marines meeting in combat. CSM do have more melee damage, but the Tacs have more health and they can use Kraken bolts for 20% more damage versus heavy armor, and that will affect melee attacks. You have like Kraken bolt elbows or something. On the west side, Chaos pushing through. These guys are low and out of cover. Sorcerer tying things up though. Techmarine repairing a generator. And attack dropping a model there on retreat. How did that happen? Weren't these guys shooting the gens? Maybe it was the pistol. The Sorcerer's pistol that did it. Not sure what the Sorcerer's pistol is like actually. Is it like a proper 16 DPS thing? Or is it a crappy sidearm that some heroes have for some reason? Like the poor Farseer and her crappy gun. 500 to 471 on the VPs. Doom bolts. Oh, some good hits in there. Killed a Tactical Marine. Heretics with some Doom blasting action. Doom blast detonates one of the Heretics to deal damage and suppress around them. Very useful for controlling movement and just generally countering enemy melee squads, such as the Assault Squad here. They get swarmed by double Heretics, especially if they have aspiring champions. That's a difficult fight for those guys. Can change drastically in tier 2 when they get their Merciless Strike Sergeant, perhaps. There's the revive. Doesn't quite level up the Force Commander. Apothecary is now up to heal something. Oh, heals the Scouts over there. Assault Squad jumping in. No heal is going to be available to these guys anytime soon. It's been used. Apothecary's off the field, in fact. They wanted to get onto the Havocs, I guess. Heretics are in there. Another jump. And they may retreat off it. Yep. CSM did not force melee there. I think they should have. I think if the Assault Squad jumps you and you have Heretics around and a bunch of stuff, just get in there with your power armored elbows if you're Chaos Space Marines. We got a sword now. Fancy sword. Plague sword for the Plague Champion. Sword of Undeath, as I sometimes call it, because it creates zombies and stuff and it's very cool. Power weapon that ignores melee resistance. Incredibly bad news for an Assault Squad. And we've got some Raptors in play for Honeken. So we've got double Heretics, double CSM for TyranidTerror. That can Be really bad for your upkeep, especially if you start getting squad leaders for these guys. But if you can get double Eternal War and double grenade launchers up, which isn't cheap, but it's by no means unattainable in Tier 1, you can pump out quite a lot of range damage. And if your heretics get jumped or something, just send both of your CSM into melee is what I would do. Havoc's here covering the power push. Fake Champion hanging back, maybe waiting for an Assault Squad jump. They are coming back. Shotgun scouts there. Sanguine Chainsword Apothecary. Healing on hit. Helps him brawl and stay in play. But more Assault Squad fellas come in from Handsome Sodding. And these guys are going to have to back the hell out. Fake Champion can't do much here. May see some fetid armor too for Unholy Stench. It's really good. Helps control a bunch of stuff potentially with suppression. On the west side, what's going on? Sorcerer levels 2. Techmarine runs. Maybe we'll see that plasma gun in Tier 2. No sign of the mastercrafted bolter. Lost his scouts here, McLovin, but he's got some more with shotguns. Assault Squad as well. Can we see a bunch of dead scouts somewhere? We can. 2 there, a dead Assault Marine as well. 2 dead scouts there as well. Yeah, double Eternal War CSM will shoot down scouts really fast. And they can focus down an enemy hero quite well too. Honeken with Havocs, are they up here? They are moving back to the east side. Power Bash from the Space Marines, they get all the gens I think. They got the node as well. Sorcerer's harassing some Devastators into the garrison. Puts Coruscating Flame on himself to burn nearby foes. You can also throw that on allies, which is quite handy. And like chuck it on raptors and then jump them in, or just chuck it on some heretics or something. And now he runs. What are these guys doing? It's the wrong way to be facing, fellas. I'm not sure why that happens sometimes. Is it just always a misclick, or is there some kind of issue there? Because sometimes you just see your setup team facing a random direction. Tier 2 for TyranidTerror, also for Burning. Both the Sorcerers going Tier 2 then. Burning is down on the west side, needs a revive. Double CSM doing that melee stuff. Getting quite low though. They were fighting Assault Marines, but look, they messed them up. Down to a single model. Is there some? I guess the Sorcerer was helping. Are all of the Assault Marines level 1? No. Handsome Soddings are level 2. And they're still harassing this power here. By harassing, I mean fully bashing it. Can they get a decap? Tactical Marines can decap incredibly quickly. Force Commander hanging out. Oh, Apothecary went down chasing, look. I res later, says Handsome Sodding. Well, it might be tricky. Might be tricky. More heretics on the field for Burning. He is in Tier 2 though. Doom bolts. Doesn't do much. Sorcerer levels to 2. And then runs. Yeah, it can be a little bit awkward approaching around this corner. It's sometimes better to take a wider path. Assault Squad jump. Heretics here with Aspiring Champion to counter-initiate. Killing one. Gets 17 red for killing an Assault Marine. Quite nice. Force Commander gets a good special, then runs and levels. Is that 3 or 2? Level 3. Tier 2s for all the Space Marine fellas. That was good pressure there. Generators are repopulated, and they need to deal with this still. They have grenade launcher heretics, right? Yeah, TyranidTerror does. They're good against garrisons, but they're going to get, yeah, in an awkward spot to do it. You want to draw their fire with something else first. How's about a Blight Grenade? Nope. We do have fetid armor. Unholy Stench is amazing. I believe this tooltip is wrong. I think it does more than 4 piercing damage now. Not a huge amount more, but I think it does more now. But the suppression you get off that is amazing. The damage is just a little bonus. Shotgun blast goes in, but the scouts have to get close for that. And we immediately have double Marco Zinc CSM for Burning. I've said a few times now, I feel like players purchased this a little bit too quickly. It is quite oppressive amount of damage, but oppressive, I said, and impressive. Both of those things. But attacks can counter with plasma guns, and if they use their Kraken bolts, they can trade reasonably well with you. And there's a shotgun blast in there, and of course the Techmarine can do a whole lot in a ranged firefight, but we'll see how they do. I think it's better to get a tier 2 unit up before you start upgrading your CSM in most cases. More Mark of Tzeentch over here. Honeken loves them too. They're often purchased immediately in Tier 2, and you can shut them down quite well with an Assault Squad. That was a strange time to Doom Blast, but I guess they suppressed the scouts. Are the CSM going for the garrison? I don't think they should. There's grenades and stuff potentially. Here's some more Mark of Tzeentch CSM for TyranidTerror with an aspiring champion even. 489 to 277 on the VPs. Yeah, Assault Squad's shutting them down, and the Apothecary can tie them up as well. And there is combat stims to buff the Assault Squad. Gives you more damage and damage resistance and suppression immunity. It's a really good buff. Tell me how long it lasts for. It might be like 15 seconds or something. Apothecary's back here. Did he get revived then? Or did he repurchase? Or did he Laramans or something? Techmarine is down. Mark of Tzeentch CSM shot him to death, so maybe I should shut up about him. And these guys are level 3. They're almost level 4. They're doing huge amounts of damage. McLovin, I'm sure, would love to get a Dreadnought up and start smacking these guys around, but resources are an issue. Space Marine is doing really well on the east side, though. Not really seeing the Plague Champion get stuck into melee very much. He can help support and protect the CSM with Unholy Stench. Got a Thunderhammer Force Commander with Artificer Armor. Havocs get jumped. Heretics are there. The Plague Champion is not there, though. He's in the backlines fighting and suppressing things with the Holy Stench. Look at that suppression there. Look how long it lasts for. So good. 489 to 240. Librarian up with a staff already. I think the Plague Champ is going to go down to bolt pistols here, maybe. Librarian. Alright, he doesn't have a bolt pistol when he's got the staff, does he? He can't fire his lightning hands when he's running. Those guys get healed. Plague Champion did go down, but it's an easy revive for the Sorcerer. On the west side, Chaos doing much better. Grenade is dodged. Not sure if it was luck or skill, but they dodged it. By the grace of Tzeentch. We have the Rod of Warpfire here. These Devastators running into trouble. McLovin's having some unit control issues, I think. We've got some Stern Guard veterans in, but they are idle. Using the cover of the drop pod, which is heavy cover. Which is quite nice. Got to revive this fella, Handsome Sodding. Meanwhile, Chaos fellas still can't break out and keep their power for any amount of time here. Plague Champion, did you heal up? I don't know if he healed up before he went running into combat again. But now he's running away, and we got some Mark of Khorne CSM for TyranidTerror. That's a big help against the Assault Squad jumps. And that pesky Apothecary. I think it's worth focusing that guy down with all of your firepower. He's doing so much in these fights. He's level 3 now with improved medical equipment. 489 to 213. Doom Bolts doesn't do much. Trying to fight the Plague Champion here. Yeah, the Plague Sword ignoring melee resistance is amazing, but it's the damage of this does not go up as you level. Because the damage is applied in a really weird way. It's technically not melee damage. I think he swings the sword and then a bunch of power melee damage is like applied afterwards as some kind of secondary effect, and that's how they get it to ignore melee resistance, so it doesn't go up as like your melee damage when you level. I guess they could artificially do it as you level up. This guy's heal gets better, but I think they reckon with the melee damage resistance being ignored, it's good enough, I guess. I feel like it should go up a bit, maybe. 50 DPS, even if it's ignoring melee resistance when you're like level 10, is a bit of a downer. Chaos Predator on the way for burning. This guy's getting dragged into the abyss, which is the global nuke for burning, which forced a big old retreat. I don't know if it killed a bunch of stuff. On the east side, it's still blue. Stone Guard veterans dropped in by the Tenso. These guys are first company Marines that can change their ammo to combat all targets. They'll be using Kraken bolts against all the Chaos Space Marine fellas. But here we go. We see Hellfire here against these heretics because they're light infantry. Acid rounds doing damage over time. Down they go. 489 to 155. I kind of wish the other ammo types had a cool secondary effect, like Hellfire doing damage over time. Maybe Vengeance rounds could like explode and do a bit of area of effect damage, maybe. Kraken bolts, I'm not sure. 489 to 142. Maybe Kraken bolts are fine, just doing a bunch of damage. Oh, down goes the Apothecary. Chaos Dread getting warped out, but there's a Melter Bomb on him, and it takes him down. 489 to 136. Apothecary gets a quick revive. Force Commander's now level 6. Tier 3 for Handsome Sodding, Tier 3 for Honeken, and Burning Tank is up. Here it is with Mark of Khorne. More speed, more damage. Techmarine went flying there. What was that? Oh, maybe that was a sync kill from the Sorcerer with his staff. He can fling you around. Got a melee Techmarine here. Here's the Chosen Plague Marines. They are unique to the Plague Champion. Very dangerous melee fellows. They're quite slow, but they're tough. Do damage over time and passively damage you if you're nearby, just by being close to them. Quite stinky fellas. Can also create some zombies, and zombie assault marines are quite fun because you can actually jump them around and disrupt stuff. And they'll be a big help against those guys. Not very, they don't even have a melee charge. They're not the most mobile guys, but if you're jumping around near them, be careful, innit? 489 to 101. Big VP lead for the Space Marines. McLovin, though, down to 2 units. I mean, they are Tax and Stern Guard. And the Force Commander gets another revive, level 7 now. This time on the Techmarine. Good grenade. Was that Handsome Sodding's grenade? It was. Oh, I guess McLovin doesn't have any scouts, so it must have been. I'm going to try and grab this contested power here. Apothecary's fallen over. I don't know how. Oh, maybe the Mark of Khorne CSM got him on retreat or something. 488 to 94. That is a big VP lead. Almost 400 to make up for the Chaos fellas. Can they do it? Another Chaos Predator on the way this time for Honeken. Burning gets some more Heretics up to help repair and support. These guys running interference. Level 3 get jumps. One fella gets jumps. They got some Mark of Tzeentch back up though. Do they fight? Maybe. Nope, they run. Grenade. They tried to dodge it. Might need to run now. Definitely need to run now. There we go. They did a decent job there dodging it, I think. Terminators coming in, perhaps. Yep, Assault Terminators from Sodding. Unique to the Force Commander with his big old shields. And Thunderhammers doing heavy melee damage. They do have double Sorcerers, though. Sorcerers are generally quite good at dealing with the Terminator variants. They can really punish their inability to retreat. 463 to 94. Sorcerer, you don't want to decap the VP or something? Guess not. Mark of Khorne tank now for TyranidTerror. Pretty good against pretty much everything, but can you keep it alive? The Sorcerer's going to walk them around to help them out. There's the jump. Havocs flee. The Chosen Plague Marines are going after him. There you see that passive damage effect, that green haze that sparks up on them. I believe it's only piercing damage every few seconds, but it really helps. Helps them rack up some XP as well. Mark of Khorne Dread's gone mental. In Blood Rage mode, dealing more damage, more speed, more damage resistance, but you lose control of the Dreadnought. Can backfire. Full auto. Oh, the Apothecary's gone range damage mode with the customized Stormbolter, which I think is a great play. Shut down these pesky Sorcerers with some full auto to the face and stun them. Tank getting shots in. Needs to be careful of those Thunderhammers, which are going after the Dreadnought now. And I mean, the Dreadnought will have melee resistance, so he can dish out some damage. He's got time to dish out damage if he's fighting those guys. Apothecary runs for his life. Good special there, Mr. Dreadnought. Can he kill him? Crunch. Couldn't quite do it unless the... Oh, there we go. The underslung Combi Bolter or Twin Linked Bolter or whatever it is gets the kill. And now he's not close enough to anything to rage after them. Got some power bashing here too, and some decapping. These guys blob capping this, having a little chaos meeting about blood and skulls and things. Heretics got the cap, I think. And Sorcerer grabs this for a triple for Chaos. McLovin down to just some tactical marines now. Can Handsome Sodding and the Tenso carry this guy through? Apothecary, I'll use his Laraman's Blessings to revive himself and that Techmarine there. That's one of his global abilities, a really good one. Meanwhile, there's some Stern Guard, and they are using Vengeance Rounds. Are back to Kraken Bolts. Vengeance Rounds are for Terminators and stuff. Super heavy infantry and vehicles, so maybe they were expecting to see the tank soon. This guy's got Mark of Nurgle, giving it a bunch of health regen, melee resistance, and a bunch of hit points. You get these stinky Nurgle autocannon shots too. They've never seemed especially effective to me. They do leave that green crap around, but generally things are just moving around out of it. But you do get all that nice durability, and it's definitely not an insignificant amount of damage they're doing. Yeah, even their side spawns and bolters do damage over time. Look, maybe perhaps better than against light infantry races or factions. 293 to 82. Yeah, so you get some good hits on those Assault Marines. Never seen them be like super killy, but they do like a good even amount of damage across a bunch of models. Look at the map, it's super red now. Lightning Claw Chaos Terminators in play for burning. McLovin trying to recover, getting a Land Raider Redeemer. I think we abandoned top, says TyranidTerror. Because of the Terminators up here? Well, everything's going mid now. Big rotation from the Space Marines. Can they pull it off? Or are they going to get forced off the field and lose the east side now? Well, those Vanguard veterans flee from the very terrifying Lightning Claws here. Markov Corner CSM backing them up as well, level 3. Look at that. Yep, Stern Guard run. Everything runs. Force Commander comes to have a fight though. Blood Raging Dreadnought. What's he going for? Goes for a Terminator, actually. The first thing he saw, I suppose. And here's another one. TyranidTerror with a double Markov Corn Dreadnoughts. I love it. CSM run. Look at the damage these Terminators are taking. Did they get warped out? I think they just teleported there, yeah. Just teleported. Mark target on the Dreadnought. Thanks to the Techmarine. Now he's getting a melter gun to help fight these vehicles, I guess. Can this Dreadnought get warped out? Definitely got the red for it. Oh, is he right here, though? And that's burning. Yeah, this guy was in a decent spot to try and warp that guy out, but the Dreadnought is down. Bunch of damage on the Land Raider, you know. This tank getting some good shots in. Now needs to flee those Thunderhammers, and here's an orbital. Orbital bombardment coming in, catching those CSM. Vehicles need to get out of it. That one went down. It's a good nuke. Gets them off the VP, gets some decent hits in there. Was nicely spread out, which is generally what you want to do with your orbital. The map looking very red though. There's a triple there. Can the Space Marines break out and bounce back? Can they keep this Land Raider alive? Our Circle of Summoning's going off, which is spawning some Bloodletters and stuff. Demonic Summoning? I always forget what the official name of that is. Still spawning them, look. I don't think you get XP for those guys. Or red. But you do get those inspirations on kill that the Terminators have. So that's alright, isn't it? Veil of Time on the Vanguard veterans, so they can sprint over there. Thanks to the Librarian, who's level 3. And that Force Staff could make a huge difference in the capping situation. Plasma attacks run. What level are these Stern Guard? Level 2 Stern Guard with Kraken Bolts. How would they hold up against level 3 Marcosine CSM though? Not sure how that firefight would go. You'd think the Marcosine CSM would win, because they're highly specialized, but Stern Guard would have more hit points for sure, right? Oh no, they don't. A level higher does give them a slightly more hit points. Dreadnought going after the Stern Guard. I think it's going to go down unless it gets warped. Yeah, they're using Vengeance Rounds. They want to try and shoot it. But Vanguard veterans, I think, are going to finish it. There's a Merciless Strike. Down it goes eventually. I'm not sure who got the last shot there, but the Dreadnought is taken care of. Kicking off in the mid. Land Raider Redeemer pushing alongside Terminators and Vanguard Veterans. Plague Champions in there, level 5 now. With the Fetid Armor and the Mucus Discharge. Just over 1,000 hit points. Now he's closer to 1,100, leveling up. Terminators of the Chaos variety have now shown up though. And they will mess up these Thunderhammer fellas. Imperial Abyss on the Land Raider. Doing a bunch of damage to it. Terminator's chasing the CSM. Tank is here, wants to try and keep moving, I think. There we go. Now these guys can turn and do some damage. Or can they? They get knocked over by the Force Commander. Level 10, this guy. Up near 1,500 hit points. 106 to 82. Land Raider Redeemer. Getting pretty low. You can't get rear armor hits on this thing, but here's a Phobos to mess it up. With a bunch of las cannons. Needs to keep moving, I think. That is a very aggressive teleport from those guys. Is that going to get them killed? Where's the Sorcerer? He's only there. Land Raider's down. But I don't know why he teleported like that. That was crazy. What would they even... Why? They had plenty of anti-vehicle stuff here to take down the Land Raider. Down goes the Predator tank. 106 to 72. It's absolute mayhem. What's going on east side? Another demonic summoning. Can they kill a Vanguard veteran? Are they exactly the same as regular Bloodletters, or are they different, these guys that are summoned out? Not sure. Heretics getting stuck in. They have kind of... But they're helping. The Vanguard are getting low. Why are they not being healed? Mr. Apothecary, there we go. Maybe it was on cooldown. 106 to 72. I was going to say the Heretics have lost their relevancy in terms of being a melee squad that can melee other melee squads, but they did all right there, I think. Considering what they were up against. Plague Champion busy doing some repairs. I think he just like vomits on the stuff or sweats on it or something. I don't know what he's up to. They're keeping really good pressure on this VP here. Force Commander trying to revive. The Techmarine with the melter gun gets it. Plague Champion up to 1131 hit points. Subjugated. Oh, these Terminators here, look. Getting them into trouble. Big, big trouble. So I assume their teleport has been used now. Oh, but the Librarian saves them. That's why you always get your friendly local Librarians to help you out when your Space Marines in Tier 3. Venerable Dreadnought dropped in. Promptly leaves. I don't know why it was dropped here. Took a bunch of damage there. 92 to 15. Another Chaos Dreadnought for TyranidTerror. Is that like the 4th or 5th that he's got? I love it. Apothecary is down. Last Cannon's trying to take out this, and it does. I think these guys had combat stims on them. That was some good damage there. There was some Stern Guard with Vengeance rounds there anyway. 2-1 for the Space Marines. Can they hold on? I don't think the Venerable Dreadnought can. Nope, down he goes. He will constantly inspire as he goes down with this Stoicism effect. Down he goes though. Techmarine survives the nuke and runs. Plague Champion is taking the VP. And they're going to get a 2-1. Yes. Not sure for how long though. Something's decapping Red Team's natural. Is it scouts? Does anyone have scouts here? There's scouts alive. Vanguard veterans run away. We'll see what these chosen Plague Marines can do. Up over 2,000 hit points for the squad. And we have a zombie Vanguard veteran in there, look. They can use the Nurgle's Rot to create zombies. Can't get zombies or heroes though, unfortunately. That would be really fun. 78 to 36. These guys grabbed it. It was indeed scouts from the Tenso. These fellas need to get on that VP now. I'm not sure if this guy's realized this is Honeken. Nope, they're just running past the VP and they're down to 29. There's Nurgle's Rot again. Can he get zombie Terminators? That would be amazing. Here's an orbital. Librarian trying to cap with Force Barrier going off. 1-to-1. Something is on the VP. I think those CSM turned around. Missile launch attacks. Down goes that tank. And there's a melter gun. And do we have marked target on this thing? Sometimes it's hard to tell if it's a large model. Yeah, it is in there. I saw it in there. I think it's worn off now, though. 76 to 22. This Phobos needs to keep moving. And use the Dirge Caster if it's available. I don't think it's going to survive unless it can Dirge Cast. Nope. Techmarine levels to 7. Doing big damage with this melter gun now. Plague Champion doing what he can. There's some Marcosine CSM, but these guys use their teleport. There's another tank. This Nurgle. And they get Gate of Infinity the way by the Librarian. Need to heal up now, though. 73 to 22 on the VPs. What's going on east side? There's a tank. There's a Dreadnought who's very angry. Yeah, TyranidTerror just churning out these angry corn Dreadnoughts. I love it. Sorcerer trying to decap meanwhile, but can't quite do it. Runs away. Should try and get Tome of Subjugation for this side, surely. There's a double for Space Marines. Is that enough? Looks like it's going to be enough. Space Marines are going to take it. What a topsy-turvy game. Awesome stuff. Very close. Had a level 7 Techmarine at the end. McLovin lost a bunch of stuff, but he persisted on, and his Techmarine did well by the end. Added some level 4 attacks and some Devastators to help support things. Level 10 Force Commander. Wonder how much of that XP was reviving, though. Level 5 Apothecary as well. Down at the end also. Gave it everything, the Space Marines. Level 6 Sorcerer. Wait, where is he? Is it this? Is he teleporting or something? Yeah. Plague Champion level 8 with that sword. And we had a level 10 Sorcerer for burning with that Tome of Subjugation. There you have it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. Big thanks to these players for entertaining us with a faction war. And I'll see ya next time.